Welcome everyone to the Everything Show. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Chris. What's up, Chris?
What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well.
So, what's going on with the WWE?
Well, let's kind of start with a timeline of the past year and a half. I know that
Okay.
sounds like a lot, but it won't be too much. So, last year in 2022, there were a bunch of allegations that came out against Vince McMahon. I don't want to go too deep into those,
Right.
but basically, it was enough to kind of force him into an early retirement.
Right.
And once that happened, basically Triple H, his son-in-law, real name Paul Levesque, he basically became the head of creative, which is something that a lot of fans, myself included, wanted to happen because he did such a great job with NXT, which was like the developmental division / unofficial third brand, right?
Right.
And in my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of fans, things actually started to get better. Were they perfect? No, there were still some bad shows, some weird decisions. However, Triple H brought back a lot of wrestlers that had been released from the company, from NXT and from the main roster, and the pieces were starting to be put into place for a better product. And I think that we were really going to see, and we may still see, who knows, but we were really going to see a big turnaround after this year's WrestleMania, I think. So that had been for the past few months in 2022. Then, unbeknownst to a lot of fans, in December of 2022, Vince McMahon, there were stories that were coming out that said that Vince McMahon was starting to regret his decision to retire because an investigation had been started because of these allegations, and he felt that he got bad information from people to retire early, right? So he had sent a series of emails to the board of directors, who was mainly responsible for making him retire early or requesting that he retire early, basically saying that he wanted to come back because the television deals and the media contract deals were coming up soon. And it basically sounded like he wanted to potentially sell the company, and he would only do so if he was in charge of the board of directors. The response from the board of directors was basically, in me paraphrasing, was, "No, Vince, things are fine the way they are right now." Well, he was able to force his way back as the head of the board of directors, basically by what a lot of people are saying is holding the company hostage, by basically telling the board, "Listen, I have a majority control, and any TV deals and sales that you want to do, I will not approve." So he became the head of the board of directors recently, and then literally today, his daughter Stephanie McMahon, who was co-CEO with their other CEO Nick Khan, who had been in the company for a little while. When Vince left, they became co-CEOs of the company. Earlier last night now, Stephanie McMahon resigned her position, and Nick Khan became the sole CEO of WWE. A few hours, maybe even a few hours after that, many credible sources, and I want to stress that this is not confirmed yet, but it seems like it's going that way, have told the public that WWE has indeed been sold to a public investment fund owned by Saudi Arabia. Now, many fans know that WWE has a deal with Saudi Arabia where they do some pretty big shows over there. Things like the Greatest Royal Rumble, Crown Jewel, stuff like that. The story right now is that they have purchased the WWE. This deal will go into effect possibly right away or in the next few months. Vince McMahon will remain in control of WWE and will likely replace Triple H as the head of creative.
Wow. He's taking him out.
And Triple H will most likely still remain with the company if he chooses to do so.
But why would he want to, Chris?
I don't think he wants... Triple H is very protective of the people that he brings in. I don't think that he wants to leave them high and dry, personally. Again, I want to stress, he could be totally on board with this deal. I don't believe so. My gut tells me that he's probably pretty angry at this, and or is just kind of shrugging his shoulders and going, "Yep, another day in WWE," or or something like that.
Well, let me ask you a question. Like, so in other words, he's not really close with his daughter and his son.
Well,
Vince?
he sort of is. I think that it's interesting because right before the allegations came out about Vince, Stephanie had gone on a leave of absence, which was kind of strange in my opinion. And then when Vince was basically retired, she immediately came back as a co-CEO of the company. It was like a
Well,
week
what
or two
about the
later
wife? Are they married still, or are they divorced?
Their relationship is very strange. I think they're officially married, but they're not like considered married or something like that.
So where is Shane in all this?
Shane is no longer with the company. He screwed himself over in no short words, trying to book the last Royal Rumble around himself, and a lot of people were like no, and then he basically went home. I know that there were conflicting reports that he came back to the company, but as far as I can remember, we haven't seen him in months, possibly over a year, to be honest.
So like he's basically on the outs with his dad, really, or no?
It's more so with the company, not necessarily with Vince, as far as I know.
Okay, and
now
one thing I
want to stress too is that the rumor right now too is that allegedly, if this public investment fund really did purchase the company will no longer be publicly traded. It will become a privately owned company.
Wow.
Which means basically they don't need to worry about a board of directors. And they may not have to worry about what sponsors say, potentially.
Wow. So it'll be like the way it used to be.
Yeah, not necessarily content-wise, but business structure-wise, it would be similar to the way it was before it was publicly traded. Yeah.
Now, was this known that Vince cheated on his wife numerous times, or?
Oh yeah, it was an unspoken thing. But the thing is that nobody knew that he was paying people to keep quiet about it.
And like his daughter is kind of against him with this whole situation with that, right? Or no?
I have a funny feeling. I can't confirm this. This is just speculation, but I have a funny feeling she left originally because of what she found out what was going on.
Okay. But now you and I talked about this off air. Like the company was his dad's. He got the company, and it was always implied that when it's time for him to retire, he's just going to give it to his kids and just move on. It doesn't seem like that's the case with him. It seems like if he's not in charge, he'll sell the company.
He's selling. I think the deal was basically like this. He went to the potential buyers and was like, "Listen, you want me? I'll sell the company. You'll own the company, but you guys don't know how to run a professional wrestling business, and I do. I'll run it for you, and you don't have to worry about it. You can just kind of count the money that comes in from it."
But did he have restrictions about his kids being in it, or no?
I have a funny feeling that the only restrictions were that he has some sort of say on the on-screen content. And
so he got what he wanted. He screwed over his family, really.
He got what he wanted. If this is true, we have to take this with a grain of salt right now. But if this is true, he basically got back into power. Yeah.
And the hell with his daughter, the hell with his son, the hell with Triple H.
I don't think he necessarily saw it like that. I think he just wanted to come back.
I mean, that's the way it looks. That's the way it looks.
Yeah. I can't say for sure if his mindset was fuck these people. I want my company back. I think it was more so like I was given bad information. I left my company when I shouldn't have, and now I have to get it back. And this is the best way I can do it.
So he just did it the cutthroat way, like the viciousness, the way he is, like it's a business.
Yeah, as like a businessman, basically. Yeah.
He basically is like, you tricked me to get me out of my company. It ain't gonna work with me. And
I think he feels that he left the company based on bad information. That's what I think he's thinking.
But wasn't the company doing bad under his leadership anyway? Like, wasn't the talent aspect of it?
They were profitable. It's just that they were like the on-screen stuff was not very relevant. It wasn't getting a lot of attention. And then when Triple H and them took over, things started to change a bit. It wasn't.
Do you think he's jealous about that? Do you think he's mad about that?
I think that I don't necessarily think that he's jealous. I think that he's not happy with the way that A, he was told to leave the company, and B, the direction it was going in.
So you honestly think if the company sold, it's going to still be around forever? Like it's just going to prosper?
WWE is not going anywhere. But what may change is that WWE, as we know it, may change. The company will still be around. There will still be a World Wrestling Entertainment. It's just, it depends on how much hands-on, it depends on how hands-on this investment fund wants to be. You know what I'm saying? There's the likely scenario here is that nothing on screen is going to change, or very little is going to change. The most change that will happen is stuff that Vince wants to be changed. I don't think that this investment fund is going to come in and be like, oh, start changing colors and push this guy and push her and blah, blah, blah. I think they're going to let Vince do what he wants with some input here and there. But most of the changes are probably going to come from Vince, I personally believe.
And just cut the money, basically. Right.
Yeah. Yep.
How do you feel personally, though?
Well, think of it like this. It's basically like, let's say a billionaire buys a soccer team, right? Do they come in and tell the players how to play soccer? Usually not. You know what I'm saying?
Well, look at how Disney Plus. Look at how Disney took over like Star Wars and ruined it, and then they took over certain things.
Well, yeah, that's a different story though, because that's not necessarily a sport. And to be honest with you, it wasn't necessarily Disney that ruined that. It was Lucasfilm that ruined it under Disney's watch.
Yeah.
Now to address what you said, how do I feel about this? I hate it.
Right.
I absolutely hate it.
I didn't think you liked it at all.
I do not listen. I want to make something very clear to anybody who's watching this. I have absolutely no problem with the country of Saudi Arabia or the people of Saudi Arabia. I do not like the people who are in charge of that country. I don't trust those people. We should not trust those people. By those people, I mean the government of that, I don't want to name names.
But he just sold it to them because they had the most money. Really?
To this investment fund, yeah. I don't trust that company or that country, the leadership of that country, I should say. But the people of Saudi Arabia, I have no problem. My thing is this. I was really hoping that he would have sold it to NBC Universal because they already work with them, and I don't think many things would have changed. In fact, I think they may have changed things for the better. They may have been like, listen, you can keep things the same, but we want to, make a couple edits here and there. But other than that, we're going to be pretty hands off. That would have been fine. If they would, I would have been like, hey, great. They sold it to NBC Universal. That's great.
Right.
This, I don't know. And there's a lot of people in that company, in select social groups, I'll say. Again, I don't want to single anybody or any group out.
Right.
Who maybe this might be a sticky situation for them. That's all I'll say about that. Because I don't know for sure. But there's a lot of people in that company who might be like, what?
Right.
There's a lot of wrestlers who refuse to go to the shows in Saudi Arabia right now because they felt that it was immoral. How do you think they feel right now if this is true? Now they have no choice. Now their business that they work for is owned by those people that they don't want to.
Well, can't there be a technicality in their contract that if somebody buys the company, they could just quit or leave or whatever if they wanted out of the contract?
If it was in there already, however, I highly doubt any contracts say that right now.
Okay.
That might be a thing going forward, but
right. So now I want to switch gears. They dropped the Ant-Man 3 trailer, Quantumania. Yeah. And I wanted your take on it. What did you think?
I think the trailer looked good.
Right.
I think that there's some weird
it looks like a step above. It looks like a step up for movies because their movies have been shitty lately.
Yeah. I think it should be good. I've heard a lot of weird things about the movie though. There have been people that have very reliable sources who have allegedly seen the movie, or at least know people who have seen the test screenings. And the thing that I've seen, the one thing that was prevalent from that, like the information, was there was a lot of talk about how fans are probably not going to love this movie, but they'll just kind of like it.
Because he dies, right? Supposedly.
Well, Scott doesn't die, at least. I don't know.
Well, let me. We're gonna spoil the shit out of it. That's fine. My question
this is a spoiler warning for Ant-Man and the Wasp:
Quantumania. Right.
Yeah.
Say it. Yeah. Spoiler warning. Okay. So, isn't it that they are he's supposed to die like a fixed point, and because of Kang and everything, he doesn't die, which totally screws up the whole multiverse and Secret
No.
Wars? No?
No.
Okay. So what happens?
Apparently, there's a whole bunch of variants of Scott in this movie.
Right.
And some of the variants die, but allegedly the Scott that we know, like the prime MCU universe Scott, the Ant-Man that we're all used to, the Scott Lang that we're all used to, he makes it out alive. In fact, he allegedly somewhat defeats Kang, but does not. He doesn't kill him, and then Kang gets the upper hand and escapes. That's basically the crux of how this movie
So
goes.
he defeats Kang, but Kang escapes.
Basically, the way it is that he beats Kang, but this was all part of Kang's plan. And then Kang gets the upper hand on him and is almost about to kill him, but then Scott gets out of it somehow, and Kang's like, you know what? I got what I wanted. I can escape the quantum realm and do what I got to do. And apparently that's what he does. Him and his army. Or what's left over of his army, anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard there's a lot of weird things that have been happening lately with Marvel. I don't know if you know a lot about some of the stuff it is, but there are a lot of strange things that have me scratching my head going, I don't know if this is going to work.
Like, tell me.
So this is a spoiler warning for Kang Dynasty and possibly Secret Wars. So if you don't want to know any about any of that stuff, stop watching now. Take all this with a grain of salt. Kang may not be the villain of Secret Wars.
Oh, because it's Doctor Doom or some shit?
No.
No?
It's the Beyonder.
Oh.
Who is now a variant of Kang.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's not the way it is in the comics.
Allegedly, the Kang that we see in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania may be the villain of Kang Dynasty, along with other variants. But apparently, it's been heavily rumored that they are using in Secret Wars the Beyonder as a variant of Kang.
Shit.
So
they're not going to do like a Mortis instead, like that was the whole rivalry.
Rama Tut, those versions of him might be in Kang Dynasty, but
right.
Apparently the main villain is going to wind up being the Beyonder.
That sucks. I don't like that they did that because the Beyonder is a whole different entity altogether.
Right.
And there's no way, shape, or form he is any way connected to Kang the Conqueror at all.
Right. Now, that's not even the strangest thing. Speaking of strange, apparently Doctor Strange 3 is being fast-tracked.
Right, I saw that too.
So that will be in Phase 5 or 6 before Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. But have you heard about the Eternals and some of the upcoming movies in Phase 5?
Oh, don't even tell me Eternals is getting a sequel.
Well, strap in, folks.
Shit.
Eternals is now a main crux of the MCU.
Oh.
Why do I say that? Well, Eternals 2 is most likely happening.
Oh, come on.
This is going to be a potential spoilers for a couple of things. So again, if you don't want to know, stop watching. This is coming from a lot of sources, Denim Nerds, stuff like that. So, Galactus. We all know Galactus as the planet-eating, reality-warping,
Yeah.
Galactus allegedly is going to have a very specific criteria for the planets that he eats in the MCU.
Oh, no.
He's apparently only going to go after planets that have infant Eternals in their cores.
What?
Yes, because he can absorb the massive amount of energy that the Celestials have. I meant to say Celestial. I didn't mean infant Eternals. I meant infant Celestials. Infant Celestials in the cores of planets is what he's going after. That's the rumor right now, is how Galactus is going to be in the MCU. Now, of course, Earth would count as one of these planets, but however, if you didn't see Eternals, the Eternals stopped the baby Celestial Tiamat from being born.
Correct.
However, Tiamat's head and part of his hand were emerging from the earth. Okay.
Right.
And then, of course, you have the Celestial at the end, like, I'll get you guys for this, blah, 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 blah. Here's where I now say that Eternals is now a main crux of the MCU, because this has literally implications for Phase 7.
Oh, shit.
You heard me. Phase 7. Okay?
7.
The island, or I should say, Tiamat, is still sticking out of the earth. Right? However, and again, take this with a grain of salt, that has now been converted, his head and his hand have now been converted into an island.
Mm.
The island may or may not be the island of Genosha.
That's the mutants right there.
Wait, hold on. It
That's
gets
the
better.
mutants.
You
Oh,
ready?
shit.
Follow me here. The alleged plots of Captain America New World Order and the Thunderbolts is going to be that nations are going to go to war to claim these islands because they have, drumroll please, a huge amount of adamantium.
There we go.
And allegedly, all the countries, or at least most of them, lose in Captain America New World Order. And the Thunderbolts are being sent in to get the adamantium off the island, or at least to get some of it off the island.
Mm.
That is apparently the plot. I've heard that Sentry is going to be in the Thunderbolts. He's going to be a Thunderbolt at the beginning of the movie and then slowly go crazy because I'm assuming the Void is making him hear voices. They say he hears voices, so I'm assuming a lot of people are assuming it's because of the Void. And then he becomes the main villain that they have to stop at the end of the movie.
Wow.
Now, I don't know how the fuck you get the Thunderbolts to stop Sentry.
Yeah, he's like Superman,
whatever.
So that's not happening. But what about the leader being the villain of Captain America? That sucks too.
Well, I think that he I have this weird idea, man, that he's going to lead to something with the mutants.
The leader?
Yeah, I have a funny feeling he's going to be the one that's going to be like, oh, look, adamantium is stronger than vibranium. And, blah, blah, blah,
Is he going to do something where he's going to cause the mutants to emerge?
I mean, right now it seems like the most likely scenario is actually that the Eternals are the reason that happens.
So let me ask you a question. So in other words, right now, the MCU, in our MCU, right? Not talking about different alternate universes and multiverses.
Yeah.
The mutants are already starting to emerge, right? Or different. So in other words, like Wolverine didn't appear yet, right? Like Wolverine didn't get his adamantium yet, or maybe he exists, but he doesn't got the adamantium, right? Yeah. So this is all going to happen now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I and we've said this before. I think a lot of X-Men fans, a lot of Marvel fans, even people like myself who know of the X-Men but aren't like super interested in them, I think all of us need to like be prepared for a very different X-Men, like super different, like you'll recognize the characters, but this story is going to be like,
they're not going to do the shit that they're doing in the comics where they never die, right?
I don't think they're going to do that, but I
like where they're like terrorists and shit.
No, I don't think they're going to do stuff like that. However, I think things from that are going to be adapted. Like they're probably going to.
Because I don't like any of that shit that Professor X eats at the dinner table with Apocalypse and Mr. Sinister, and they're all in cahoots. I don't like any of that shit.
I don't think they're going to do stuff like that. I do think, however, that you're going to see a modern based story, and by that I mean the X-Men have not been around. They kind of formed together to fight, like the Brotherhood of Mutants or something like that. It's not going to be like these guys have been around for decades and
So they're just going to appear.
I don't know if they're just going to appear, but I think it's going to be it's not going to follow the beats that you would, like a Wolverine finds the, Professor X in them, and there's the school for gifted. I honestly think that none of that is going to exist, and they're going to build it up from the ground up.
So Deadpool, what part does Deadpool play in all this?
There's some weird. I know I've said that a lot. I apologize, but there's some weird shit going on with that too. I think it was Daniel Rickman, who was a very, very good source for this stuff. I think he tweeted something out. I may be wrong about who tweeted this out, but he said something about he's going to kill the Fox universe. I don't know what that means. Like, are they going to do like, you remember in the comics, like Deadpool kills the Marvel universe?
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to do that.
But are they going to come over to our universe, though?
Well, that's the thing. If he kills them all, then they can't. You know? Like,
well, and I heard another thing, too, that they hired James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender. Yet,
yeah, potentially.
They got Patrick Stewart back again, too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And Ian McKellen, right?
Potentially, yeah.
So the Deadpool movie, is it connected to Deadpool 2 where he's time hopping everywhere and the TVA?
Yes, apparently he's doing that and the TVA is trying to stop him. And yeah.
Now the TVA is represented by the one who remains, or like the actual TVA?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I do know that
because the end of Loki, now Kang is in charge of the TVA instead of the one who remains, right?
I believe that it's a version of the TVA. I don't know if it's the same one from Loki, but I do know that what's his name's character, Owen Wilson, is in the movie apparently.
Okay, and Loki's in it supposedly, right?
I don't know about Loki, but I know Owen Wilson is, or at least they said he is.
And I heard that Tobey Maguire's in it, right? Like with Wolverine, or is that in Secret Wars?
No, apparently that's a Secret Wars thing.
Okay.
That
so
allegedly
they have to go to multiverse. They have to get members of different like superheroes to help them, right?
I imagine it's something like that, or if the Beyonder is the villain, I wonder if he's just pulling people from timelines and he's like, okay, fight. You know, like
right. I mean, but see that thing. I'm very, very, very upset that the Beyonder is Kang. That is
allegedly
something
anyway.
I'm not happy. I'm also not happy that the revelation that MODOK is the fucking Yellow Jacket. That sucks. Like totally. Yep. So now when he was going into the quantum realm, his body was disproportionate or something, like his.
Yeah.
So is that what happens? His body's screwed up?
Yeah, I guess what happens is that he survives that whole ordeal and he's just super deformed because of it. And
this is my son Joe. This is Chris.
What up?
How you doing?
Hey.
I'm guessing that he survived that whole ordeal in Ant-Man. He becomes super deformed because of it, and then either Kang or the people that are down there in the city basically build the MODOK suit around him so that he can survive.
I was so against that, and I didn't believe it when Joe told me it. Joe was right about that.
Yep.
Hell yeah, dog! Biggest theory come to life.
I was so upset because you want like some of the characters to resemble the comics, not drastically different. Like you're saying, the Beyonder is a variant of Kang. That sucks. That I'm not happy with. Yeah. But what about Doctor Doom? Is Doctor Doom appearing or no?
Allegedly his scene was cut from Black Panther 2. It was supposed to be an end credit scene.
I really didn't want that though. I don't want him to show up this soon.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think we all have to stop like guessing when Doctor Doom's gonna show up. I don't think they have.
That's the biggest thing I've heard lately. Everybody's trying to guess where he is.
Because they like I can't keep count of how many times I've heard X thing is happening. It's because of Doctor Doom, and then it's like no, haha, it's actually MODOK, and it's like wait, what? Like what?
We've been getting let down even with Doctor Strange. Like all these people are going to appear and then have to.
I was watching the stream for a second. I want to bump back to Deadpool 3. I have a theory about Deadpool 3 that is kind of like weird, but I kind of wish it would happen because me wanting Kang to show up more like as a threat it would make more sense. Mm-hmm. I hope that it's about Kang going through the universes and wiping them out, and he just so happens to escape the Fox universe and jumps out of there.
I think that's better than him killing them because it's like
that's
why
what I'm saying. That's stupid. Yeah. I think because the only way to get that Deadpool in our MCU, which if that is even happening, I think that's a good way to go because it shows more of a threat for Kang. Like he's wiping out universes, and that's what he's doing. but
Yeah.
I think that's a better story for that.
Yeah, I would definitely like it if Kang or a variant of Kang was
That's what I'm
was
saying.
the
I just want to
culprit
see
of that.
Kang more, just in general.
So,
Not
Chris,
just this.
you said you don't think Scott dies at all.
I don't think our version of Scott dies. No,
Dude, 100%. No way.
no, because the rumors are is that he meets apparently he meets a variant of himself that is still working at Baskin Robbins, like he never got fired. Yeah, like that's they went there. And someone pointed out that that scene in the trailer where it's like he's the employee of the century or something like that.
Right.
That may not be in the MCU. That may be in the universe where he was never fired.
Right, but he was an Avenger, in other words, there.
Potentially, yeah.
Oh wow.
And then
I think he's just capitalizing on like the thing in our universe. I think that's just him capitalizing on it.
You know what's interesting though, in the most recent trailer, there's the giant man that gets. It almost looks like he gets killed the same way Wanda killed Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
He gets like spaghettified, I guess, or whatever you want to say.
See, do you think? Because I was just talking to my dad earlier about it, like super quick. Like, do you think those are variants of him, or do you think that's something else?
I think those are variants of him. From what I've heard, it's like they show up there because of something that happens, and some of them die, some of them get sent back, and then I've heard that Scott and the Wasp survive, and then something else happens, and then Kang escapes.
Does his daughter die?
From what I've heard, no. I heard she makes it out of the quantum realm, though.
Oh, but Scott's stuck in there with the Wasp.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard one of the end
But they're
credits
doing another Scott stuck in quantum realm fucking storyline.
Yeah, I heard that one of the end credit scenes is they're stuck in the quantum realm, and then Cassie is like she's running some kind of algorithm on her computer that's looking for them, and then something comes up on her screen that we don't see, and she freaks out. And then it cuts.
Maybe it's Kang, right?
Well, here's the weird thing.
Well, why would it be Kang again?
There's a lot of people that think it might be Ultron.
Oh shit!
Ultron, or a variant of Ultron, like gets into her computer and is like, "Hey, yo," and she's like, "Oh shit," you know what?
I've been talking about wanting to see Ultron for so long again.
Yeah,
but it's not all our Ultron, right? It's probably
it could be.
Oh, dude, our Ultron's not dead. Standing by that.
What about the Vision stuff, Chris?
Oh, so that Vision quest. Oh, Agatha. I heard that they're going to announce that thing's getting delayed till 2025.
Jesus Christ, bro!
Yeah.
Didn't they just say that they just announced the other day that it's this year, right? The Echo and this one are this year.
Yeah, and they moved. They're going to move apparently a bunch of stuff. Like what if season 2 is going to be next year? Agatha apparently is going to get moved. I guess. And then that Vision quest show is apparently going to introduce his daughter.
Well, he had the whole family in that graphic novel there, but it's our Vision though, right?
Well, it's the Vision from the end of WandaVision, I guess, slowly becoming the Vision that we know.
Oh, okay.
Or a version.
What about this? What about the Scarlet Witch though?
You got me. She's out there
because
somewhere.
she was supposed to be in Agatha, right?
I would imagine so.
And I heard they re-signed Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, he's going to be in Armor Wars apparently.
Yeah, we knew that was going to
Armor Wars as Tony or as an AI Tony.
So I've heard it could be both. It could be a flashback that he has with Rhodes, and then potentially as an AI. Because I heard Ironheart's going to be in that too. Which, you know who one of the villains in Ironheart is going to be? Mephisto.
That's ridiculous, bro.
Is that confirmed?
So I've heard a rumor that they shot his scenes and they coded it for Agatha, and then they were like, "Nah, this is actually for Ironheart."
Interesting.
But isn't Audrey Plaza supposed to be like Mephisto's daughter or some shit? Or
she's supposed to be one of the villains in that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
In Agatha, not Ironheart.
Right. But that doesn't make any sense, Mephisto being in Ironheart.
Why does it not make sense?
Because what did Mephisto have to do with Ironheart in the comics, really?
Well, no. Again, you relate everything to the comics.
Well, I
different.
kind of
Like,
do, but it's just I don't know. I want it to make sense though. I don't.
I guess we have to see what they do with it. I think it's like that wouldn't have been the first place. I would have been like, oh, Mephisto's going to be.
well,
in
no,
that.
100%
But, like,
not the first choice. But
yeah.
So, in the Fantastic Four movie, the villain of the Fantastic Four movie is going to be Rama Tut, which is Kang the Conqueror, basically a version
Did
of
you
Kang the
hear
Conqueror.
who's in the running? Did you hear who's apparently in the running to play Mr. Fantastic?
Adam Driver,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That's weird. I don't
I
know if I'm.
want fucking Penn Bagley, bro.
Here's my thing about that, though, right? I was at first I was like, oh no. I mean, I like Adam Driver. Don't get me wrong, but,
Yeah, but he's
I was like,
like
oh.
a villain, not a. You know.
There were people that were like, he might be Doctor Doom, and I was like,
I
under
hope
no
not.
circumstances should Adam Driver be Doctor Doom.
No. No way. No way. I don't think so.
So I'd rather
So now-
have him as Mr. Fantastic, to be honest with you.
Right, but so now, in other words, Doctor Doom is not anywhere near in Fantastic Four unless it's in a cameo or an
He's
after credits.
apparently in the background of everything, but like he's never confirmed. Like he's always
He was
doing
technically
something,
in
but-
Moon Knight.
Yeah.
He was in the Von Doom Donuts
Jesus.
on the box.
Wow. So what's the Avengers are made up of? What? Moon Knight, She-Hulk, or She-Hulk's not part of this at all?
Oh, she'll be there.
Okay.
You know that.
Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel.
So isn't like
Captain
Casey
America.
get that? Isn't she friends with Kate Bishop or
Cassie.
They'll
Cassie?
all be there.
But like, isn't it that they get their asses kicked and they basically need like the original Avengers to like save their ass?
Well, not just the original Avengers. They're going to need people from like every other Marvel universe too.
Like Spider-Man, like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, right?
Yeah.
But isn't that going to lead to another phase with Tom Holland with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire appearing again, or like a Spider-Verse, or
I couldn't tell you.
Well, it's already
Yeah.
confirmed that they're in it, isn't it? The Toby
Yeah, I
and
mean,
Andrew back.
it's not like confirmed, but like you could basically be like, yeah, they're in it. You know? Like,
Yeah.
so after Ant-Man is what?
Guardians.
Yeah.
And Guardians has nothing to do with Kang.
You don't
Probably
know
not.
that.
Oh,
I don't know, man.
it does.
He
I don't
could
know that
show
it
up.
does.
I
I'm
mean,
not-
Kang
I'm
could show
saying
up in
he could.
anything.
Yeah,
But
that's what
doesn't
I'm saying.
Adam
This is
Warlock
his
have the
Dynasty
Soul
era.
Stone?
Not anymore.
What is that thing in his head?
Something else.
Something else. You mean it's not regrowing the Soul Stone, like coming back into existence?
I
Because
mean, I
they
guess
have
that's
to
possible.
exist in every. They can't be out. Like they have to have the gems exist in every universe. So like, if they were all going to go away, there's only one gem that can bring them all back, and technically that's like the time gem, I guess. Right. So like,
Well-
there's a failsafe.
Well, they still exist. They planted them back.
No, but they said that Thanos destroyed, like the gems were destroyed when he was when they cut his head off. Remember? Like
Yes, but they went back in time and got all the stones again.
no, but that's the past. I'm talking about the present. They're all destroyed.
I don't know, man. I
Just-
think they're still out there.
I don't know.
I
But
think they probably had to get rid of them because you'd have a bunch of people in the audience being like, "Why don't they just get the Infinity Stones and snap them out of existence?"
yeah, but how is but Kang makes that like you can't use it, right? Because I'm sorry, the one who remains made the
He
gems
remains, yeah.
useless, right? He who remains made the gems useless.
Well, they were
right?
outside of their universe. They were outside of their universe.
He didn't have anything to do
It
with that.
worked,
Yeah,
like in the
they were outside the universe.
comics, you can't take an Infinity Gauntlet from one universe and go to another universe.
Right.
Because they don't work.
The TVA is not in a universe; it's outside of the universe.
Yeah,
it's outside
it's
of everything.
outside.
But is it
Yeah.
one TVA? Because this is where it gets confusing.
Now there's multiple.
So how did they not bump into each other?
I don't think
Who
there's
says they
multiple. I
don't?
think it's just one, but it's masked. Like it's
Well, no, you
different.
still have that TVA that went to the school to find what's her name is the
Sylvie.
teacher there. That timeline still
Oh,
exists, while they have the other timeline that was created anew with Loki and the different TVA.
That's apparently what the second season is going to go into.
That there's the two timelines.
that there's a lot. That there's more than just two.
Well, there's the one scene from the trailer that, like, I don't know if you guys have seen the leaked
It
trailer.
was multiple Lokis and Owen Wilsons, right?
Well, not even that. There was just one scene where Loki has one of the pruning sticks, and he goes up to the wall and prunes the wall, and it's like fucking Kang heads everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's the same TVA. I think this shit's fucked up, and like they're just like masking it, and it's rewritten essentially.
Like Back
Yeah,
to the
they
Future,
could
right,
get-
Joe?
They could
Back to
absolutely
the
do
Future
that.
too?
Yeah.
Mm.
It's all
So
over.
after
I just
Guardians
remember
is what then?
The Marvels.
that. The Marvels, yeah,
God,
in June,
Jesus.
I think.
That apparently has a lot to like. Apparently, there's an incursion in that movie, and there's like some crazy shit that happens, and yeah.
So now is the Scarlet Witch an enemy? Or is now that the Darkhold is not taking a hold
I
of her?
wouldn't say so. No, I think she basically came to her senses at the end.
She's
of...
not, because they're going to say the Darkhold made her like that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it did.
Right. But it didn't make her what she did in WandaVision do that, right? Because
No.
No, in WandaVision, it was just her
right.
dealing with trauma.
That's why I don't really like WandaVision that much, is because like they implied that she learned a lesson at the end of WandaVision, but then she really didn't, because she's reading the Darkhold. Like
That's what I fucking hated about that
It's
movie.
like,
I hated
okay.
that. And he never even saw WandaVision, so he didn't know that she brought the Vision back and all that shit. Sam Raimi.
I think they also told him don't put Vision in this movie. I have a funny feeling.
Well,
So now
it makes sense.
Vision's going to probably heavily be involved in Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, no?
I think they're going to need all hands on deck. And
Isn't he going to be the one that's going to direct them, go to this universe, get this one, go to this universe, get this one?
I don't think he's going to be that smart.
But, yeah, I don't think he's going to do that.
But
I
Tony
think Budget's
Stark,
going to be like
at the end of all this, Tony Stark is probably going to remain alive, right? Because whatever happens, and then probably Black Widow will probably come back too.
I don't know about
Maybe.
that.
I don't know.
I think
I think that decision is going to be weighed on how these movies do, because I think if Phase 5 is like another Phase 4, they're going to be like, yeah, we need to bring people back. You know? Like,
You know what sucks though? Like, I like things all connected, but there's no way that Daredevil could be connected to this.
why not?
How come?
How could that be connected? It's like street level shit.
It's street level, but he still deals with everything. Like shit still happens on street level that he has to deal with.
Yeah. Like,
But how is Kang going to be involved in Daredevil?
Well, look at the trailer that just came out. If you look at it, Scott and Kang fight each other hand to hand at one point. And
Dude,
while Kang,
he gets a couple of good hits on him, bro.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
a whole part of Kang's suit that's been ripped off,
Wow.
and his helmet is fucked up and everything. So, like, hypothetically, if you could get around Kang's technology and you fight him hand to hand, you could hypothetically beat him.
So Scott's kicking his ass, basically.
No. Kang's kicking Scott's ass, but like Joe said, Scott gets a couple of really good hits on him, though.
Scott gets a couple good hits, but dude, my favorite part of the trailer, I don't care what anybody says, Kang stomps on this man's fucking face.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
legit.
That was
Best
great.
scene.
Wow.
It's great.
And Jonathan Majors, he did that with force too. He was
Yeah,
like,
100%.
I'm taking
He
this
didn't
guy's
care.
head off. Like,
Yeah.
That's why I want to see him in fucking Creed 3, like just fucking box.
oh yeah.
Well, that's why
Right?
he's that big.
Jesus.
That's why he's that big.
That's fucking
I mean, yeah,
crazy.
he got big for Kang, but he got big for Creed.
Yeah. I think basically what happens is that they quote unquote they defeat Kang by like damaging his technology, but then he just kind of gets up and he's like, I can still do this, you know? Like, I can still go.
And then the Beyonder is just another variant.
That's the thing that I was saying before, is that they're going to need if they're fighting the Beyonder, they're going to legitimately need
But they can't.
everybody.
That's the whole thing that
You know?
really upsets me. Beyonder is totally different than the fucking character.
I know.
Bothers me. So fucked up. That's why I'm so mad about the MODOK thing too. It's fucking.
This also begs the question, though, if the Beyonder is in this, then that must imply that the Beyonders are out there somewhere too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is MODOK such a big deal?
Yeah, because MODOK is technically a fucking Nazi, fucking connected with the Red Skull, like, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Like in the
wasn't
comics,
Darren
like
Cross still dealing with Hydra?
But wasn't MODOK fucking what the actor Toby Jones?
Look, they
Yeah.
decided to go in a different direction in the MCU.
But Toby Jones was supposed to be MODOK. And if you saw
He's
that,
Arnim Zola.
but isn't Aram Zola MODOK? Wait, I'm trying to
No,
think. Hold on.
Arnim Zola is a separate thing. Arnim
To
Zola
be
already
honest,
showed up. That was Cap too.
It doesn't really matter if he was like that in the comics or not, because they have decided to just go in a different direction.
Right, they're just doing something totally fucking different. They don't give a fuck.
They, Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I like the MODOK design when he has the whole suit on. When it's up, when the mask is up, then I'm like, okay. He looks like MODOK.
Right,
yeah, no.
But,
He looks, yeah.
Now, who's Bill Murray's character?
He's the green dude from the comics. That's like the king or president of that city.
Oh, he's not a big person. I thought he was gonna be.
He and Janet had like a thing when she was trapped down there. And
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, at the end of this movie, they're still alive too, right? Like Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer, like they're still going, or maybe not.
I think so. I believe so. I think they actually get out of the quantum realm with Cassie too.
Oh. Well, why wouldn't they just get Scott out of there then?
They get separated.
Oh.
They get separated at some point. I think when Scott's getting his ass
He's dealing
handed
with
to him
Kang.
like Kang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's dealing with Kang, and I think they escape.
Because they don't want to get Kang to come in our universe, right? That's the whole. So
Well,
the
they
rings
don't want
belong to Kang, right?
They
The
don't
rings?
want Kang to get into any universe. Like if he gets
Did
into
you
any
guys-
universe, he can hypothetically travel to anyone he wants.
Well, did you guys already talk about what Kang needs from Scott? Or no?
What does he need, Chris?
So I don't know. I know that he wants the bangles and the rings, but I don't know about what he wants from Scott.
Yeah. My thing is, like, this man's, like, all-powerful and everything. What the fuck does Scott... What can
Yeah, that's
Scott
what
do
I don't
that Kang
understand. Like, why don't he just fucking get himself?
Allegedly, he has his ship in the quantum realm, and Janet. So I guess this movie begins with Janet being trapped in the quantum realm after she stops that nuke.
Yeah,
right.
And Kang is there. He got to the quantum realm before that, but his ship got damaged. So when she gets there, he's like, "Hey, if you help me fix my ship, I'll get you back to your home, and then I can just do whatever I got to do." And she's like, "Okay, cool," until she finds out that he's like a fucking psychopath. And she's like, "No." And I guess she takes something from his ship, hides it in that city, and then when he tells Scott, "Someone stole something from me and you're the only one who can get it," I guess it's a part of his ship that he needs to get out of there.
No, and she
Yeah,
stole it.
but Kang can easily roll up in there and just get it.
That's what I
think
mean.
it's gotta
Like,
be
there's something that
more
doesn't
like-
add up there. Yeah.
I don't know. Because that's just, like, for me to, like, for them to say in the trailer, he can kill timelines and do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
Like, what can he... I don't know. I just can't figure out what he can get that he can't.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely something weird. I thought it was Pym particles at first, but then I was just like, why doesn't he just kill Scott and take his, you know? Like,
And he's not
Sure.
related to Reed or Doctor Doom, correct?
he might be.
Oh, he's still Nathaniel Richards?
Yeah, he might be.
His name is Nathaniel, right?
If they decide to go that way, yeah.
Okay.
But you got to remember, too, there's going to be so many variants of him that they could be related to everybody. You know, like, who knows?
Right. So but who's the main leader of all the Kangs? Him?
Him, Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
And that's Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man, right? Not a different Kang, right?
That is Kang the Conqueror.
That's
Right.
Kang, yeah. That's the genuine article. Like, when you think of Kang, that's
He leads all of them. Right, okay.
Yeah. Other than He Who Remains, because He Who Remains, I don't think he was following Kang. I think
Oh, no, he was his own
actually
thing.
trying to
But
stop
was
him.
he keeping him there, or was he... Because it seemed to me like he kept all the Kangs at bay, right?
Well, no, I don't think he was keeping anybody there. I think that when they condensed all the timelines into the sacred timeline, he was the only one, and he was like, okay, there's no more of me that I have to worry about as long as everything remains under control.
Well, like
But
we
now
said,
it's
like
kinda
the TVA and everything is out of time. Like he dealt with it already. That was over.
Yeah,
Like he was the one.
So now he's dead.
that's why they call him He Who Remains, because he's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the last version of all of himself.
Okay.
That's why he tells them too, like, if you think I'm bad, wait till you meet my variants, and then he dies, and now we have this going on.
But when the thing that he was looking
Thanks,
at was
Sylvie.
that the skull? Was that the Scarlet Witch? Technically, that whole thing, or no?
What?
I don't know if they ever actually confirmed that, but
Yeah.
it does line up though.
Yeah, I know it does.
Oh.
So, besides the MCU, what's going on with Godzilla? Anything?
Well, we got Godzilla Zero allegedly coming out in November.
What's that?
We know something's coming out it's the next Toho movie.
Godzilla Zero is the next Toho movie.
That's the alleged title is Godzilla Zero.
Oh. Okay.
All we know is that the movie is done. Like they finished it.
Finished
At least
it.
as far as I know. Yeah, it's supposed to come out November 3rd, and it apparently takes place. I've heard in 1947 or early 1950s.
Oh, so it's not going to be in the present then.
No, but however, this may be the beginning of their cinematic universe.
I see.
Yeah.
So we're not going to have any aliens. We're not going to have any.
No, I don't think there's going to be any other monsters.
But is it going to be other monsters, or are they going to be?
No, I think it's just him.
Just
That's
him?
an origin again.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I don't know about that. Like that.
Which I'm actually really excited for it because the if I have an idea of how this could go, and if it goes that or something similar to that, I think it should be pretty good.
Now, what about our? What about the Legendary? Didn't Legendary branch off away from Warner Brothers, or is like what's?
Yeah, but that's not affecting anything because Legendary does their own thing. And the deal
what's
is that
their
Warner
movie?
Brothers- So we've got the Apple TV Plus series that's supposed to come out this year. That sounds phenomenal. Like
Okay,
that,
Monarch,
like,
right?
the stuff that
The Monarch.
Yeah, it's either going to be called Monarch or Hourglass. That's the
Okay.
Is that just them investigating monsters?
Yeah. It takes place like a day after the 2014 movie, and then it goes through like the fallout from everything that's going on.
But Godzilla's in it, right?
He is, yeah. They said that there was a lot of people that were worried, and they were like, there was a leak from a source that has been confirmed legit, and they were like, "Don't worry, he's not in every episode, but he's in it a good amount." And that's really all I needed to hear. But the show is about Monarch. It's not necessarily like Joe said. It's not a Godzilla show. He's in it, but it's more so about Monarch.
Yeah, just an investigation thing. It's kind of cool. Like I like the idea of that.
Yeah, it sounds great. Like the thing that happens that sounds really interesting is that right after 2014, Monarch got revealed to the world, and a lot of their stuff got like leaked online and whatnot. And there's families around the globe whose relatives are like, "Yeah, I worked for that company.
Wow.
I know everything that's going on." Like, and they.
But
find,
now,
like,
our Legendary's movie is Godzilla and Kong, right?
so the alleged title is Godzilla and Kong Origins,
Okay.
and most of it is going to take place in the Hollow Earth.
Okay.
And so allegedly the main villain is going to be some like gigantic horrific monster that the ancient Godzillas and Kongs fought in the past and is now coming back now.
But is it Space Godzilla?
I think it's a version of Space Godzilla, yeah.
Because
Just
like
updated.
the Godzilla went to space and then he merged with whatever, right?
Yeah, it's not going to be like that, but I think that it's at the end of the day you're going to be able to look at it and be like, yeah, that's most likely Space Godzilla.
And
that's my speculation.
Ghidorah is out of the picture.
I would imagine so. However,
They already used Ghidorah. Ghidorah's head was caved in, right?
Yeah,
After the
I do think
Godzilla
they're
incident.
gonna. I do think that they're gonna explain because they found Ghidorah in Antarctica, and there was this merchandise that came out that like expanded on how he got there, and so allegedly, like in the past, like millions of years ago in the past or whatnot, him and Godzilla fought, and Godzilla like shot him down while he was in Antarctica, And if you remember in Godzilla vs. Kong, the Hollow Earth entrance, the Vile Vortex, was in Antarctica.
Hmm.
So a lot of people, myself included, think that Ghidorah was trying to get to Antarctica to get into the Hollow Earth to get that power source that was down there.
Right.
I have a funny feeling that the power source emanates from this new monster that they're going to introduce.
From the monster itself?
Yeah, like I think it's like that thing was defeated. They built the temple over it, and the energy that's flowing out of it is what's powering that temple. And I have a funny feeling that because Godzilla destroyed it in GVK, Monarch's going to go back there. They're going to screw around with stuff, and they're going to wake this thing up, and it's going to cause just mass chaos.
Oh shit. Okay.
So Monarch fucking with shit they shouldn't fuck with again.
Exactly, yeah. Which fits the theme for the whole series.
Yeah,
like human.
exactly.
So
yeah.
now, is this considered a sequel to Godzilla vs. Kong, or is this
It's the fifth
considered?
movie in the MonsterVerse. Yeah, yeah.
So it just we're just continuing.
Yeah.
But there is no end yet, right?
Everything. Well, this might be. I mean, this might be the last one they do. You never know. Unless it does really well. If it does really well, then of course they'll do.
They have a contract continuing, right? So.
Yeah, everything so far. I know that there's some questions about some of the graphic novels, but everything is canon in the MonsterVerse. Like it all.
So like
fits.
1 year we'll have Toho, right? And then they're not allowed to do it the same year, right? And then another year we'll have ours, correct?
Yeah, I don't know how long they're going to do the MonsterVerse for, but I have a funny. I think they're going to do 2 more. I think this.
But isn't there another Kong movie, or they're not going to do that?
Well, that's what this sort of is. This next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're not going to have it just all-out fest with tons of monsters like Destroyer monsters.
That could be the 6th movie. I know that Gareth Edwards really wanted, like when he did 2014, he was like, I want to do a Monster Island thing, and I want to see Destroy All Monsters.
Yeah.
He also said he wanted to do Mechagodzilla. So far he's been getting everything that he wanted, even though he's not involved with it anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
I also have a funny feeling.
What happened, Joe?
I have a funny.
No, I said we got the version of Mechagodzilla, but I didn't really care for it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I think that I have a funny feeling that Kong is not going to be alone down there. I think they're gonna be either he's gonna find more Kongs, or he's gonna find like an infant Kong or something.
Okay.
Because the rumor for this movie originally, if you remember, was that this was going to be Son of Kong.
Right.
I don't think that was a mistake, and I don't think that was a coincidence. I think that that's like a placeholder title for this.
Now, do you know anything what the hell was going on with this whole DC crap? Because why should we?
Oh, I did want to mention one other thing. It's not related to the Monsterverse, but something monster related. We are getting a Gamera show on Netflix this year.
That's fucking amazing.
Yep.
But it's not owned by Toho.
Nope.
So there's no chance of a Godzilla vs. Gamera that everybody's been wanting for fucking decades.
Not yet, but this show looks pretty good. It's called Gamera Rebirth.
Okay.
And Gamera, like there's just like a silhouette with like lights in his body that's the only image we have right now, and then like an image of his eye.
Right.
He looks badass, man. Like this is a great design. And there's also going to be a Kong MonsterVerse anime coming out soon too.
Is that connected to like the Monarch stuff, or is that just Kong stuff?
It's part of the MonsterVerse. It's gonna be before Monarch was even made. I think it's gonna be in 1933, which is a callback to the first movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, it's canon to what it's supposed to be canon to what they're doing.
Interesting.
So now, here's the thing. We heard James Gunn, of course, takes over, right?
Yeah.
And everybody was excited.
And Peter Safran.
Right, and everybody was excited thinking that Henry Cavill was going to be Superman, and then he just threw that shit under the bus. That's not happening. Then we hear that people have seen the Flash movie and think it's one of the greatest superhero movies of all time, and that they think it's going to generate the most money ever, to where they want him as part of the DC universe. Now, how the fuck is that possible?
How is it not?
Because of all his arrests and everything, like they're just going to say, fuck it, just let's keep him because he could alter the Flashpoint and everything, and he could remain, but Superman, like Henry Cavill, can't.
Because I think to a certain extent they're just resetting the universe, and
with the Flash,
just going. Yeah, 100%. I 100% have been thinking that even before James Gunn, because they were erasing, like, they said Ben Affleck was out. They said like this person was out. They didn't want to do anything with this
But
person.
then didn't they put Ben Affleck back into Aquaman?
Yeah, which doesn't.
Allegedly, they
add up
took
to
him
it.
out.
They took him out again?
Allegedly, yeah.
Didn't
Well,
they
now
put,
they would have because they took
Okay.
him out because James Gunn's thing.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't the whole thing that they wanted Michael Keaton to be our Batman, but then the
That
other
was the
Batman,
plan.
right? But then he was in Batgirl, right? But then they canceled Batgirl, and when they're gonna? How does that explain the Batman? Like, I thought
That's
they're not
totally
gonna.
separate.
That's a different universe.
Yeah,
But
that's
so is the
totally-
Joker is a separate
Yeah,
universe.
it's a different universe as well.
But I thought they weren't gonna do that. Like,
Bruce is a kid in Joker.
Yeah, well, here's the thing though. Like that Batman movie was like really popular, so I don't think James Gunn has much say over that. I think
Right.
Zack would be like, listen, man, do your own thing and let us worry.
we're
about
doing
the
our
Batman."
thing. We're not gonna fucking make waves with each other, right? But what about
Yeah.
Wonder Woman now? Now, who sabotaged what? Did Catherine Jenkins, whatever, did she, like, her script was that fucking bad?
I just
Well,
don't
once
think it fit their vision.
I heard that they were trying to bring back Steve again for the third time in the Lazarus Pit in the third one, and I think they didn't like that.
But that's the whole point. Is that romance, love fucking thing that she'll do anything for him, and like like Superman and Lois.
Yeah.
That's like what. Yeah. So
But
they
no.
weren't feeling that. No.
I didn't
Okay.
feel I hated the second movie.
So,
Because
but then
Yeah,
aren't they
I agree.
keeping her? Aren't they keeping her anyway, though, Chris?
Allegedly, no.
No.
They haven't confirmed that, but there's a lot of evidence pointing to the fact that she's probably done as Wonder Woman.
She's done. And Jason Momoa is going to be Lobo instead of Aquaman.
That's the rumor.
And Ben Affleck's just going to be director, right?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay. So, how do you feel about that, though?
I'm in a look. I really wanted Henry Cavill to come back as Superman, and the fact that
That's all I
he's
wanted.
the fact that he's not coming back has really lessened my interest in DC. Like, I'm not mad. I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm not really that interested. I'm This is my thing. I'm on a wait and see basis with this. I need to see A, the slate, and B, what direction they're going in. Because, and again, this is going to be an unpopular opinion. I am not a big fan of James Gunn. I think that a lot of his movies are really overrated.
Understandable.
So him being in charge of it with Peter Safran, I'm kind of like, I don't know. But at the same time, though, I think James Gunn is really talented and he could do really good with this.
But didn't we predict that, like, with that whole thing with when he got fired from Disney, didn't we predict that? I even said he's probably going to take over DC everything. Because,
Yeah,
like,
you
fucking.
said that a while ago, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I'm worried about is if he screws up his written Superman, then there's going to be a problem.
If he
But
messes that up, that's
It's over. That's the whole point. Is it's over. It's completely over. But he's developing a whole universe wrapped around that. And if that is shit, no one's going to give a shit about any movie going forward. So he can't screw that up.
Well,
And I don't think anybody really wants to see the whole Clark and Smallville and becoming
really
Superman and shit again.
You want to really scratch your head? You know that Blue Beetle movie comes out this year too.
But none of that means anything.
Well, here's the thing.
Why go see any of them?
Here's the thing, right? There's been test screenings for Blue Beetle, and everybody said it's actually pretty good.
But that's the point. Is like, why should we go see any of these three movies, Flash, Aquaman, or Blue Beetle, if the timelines are raced? It doesn't matter.
And Shazam. That's the first movie.
It's pointless. Like, you're basically screwed over the box office potential for all four movies. No,
they're going to take a hit because of it. Yeah, but I still think they'll do relatively okay.
And so The Rock is done. They're done with The Rock.
Oh yeah.
Totally.
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
what a fucking waste that was.
I mean, it was a decent movie, in my opinion at least. But I mean, no.
What a
Just
fucking
his
waste.
attitude towards everything.
I don't understand.
The
I don't
Rock fucked it
understand.
up.
You
The
know,
Rock
the Rock,
fucked all-
the Rock tried to take over control of DC.
Just like he tried to
100%.
take control over fucking Fast and the Furious, right?
Yeah, this was a whole thing.
And they told him to go fuck himself, right? Vin
Dude,
Diesel told him
literally,
to fuck off.
I knew the movie was gonna I knew the movie was gonna. I didn't know the movie was gonna be decent. I actually was surprised by it. But like the way that he was speaking before the movie came out, like literally his quote literally made me so like furious. Not furious, but like his quote of saying this is gonna change the hierarchy of the DCU.
I hated
get the
that.
fuck out of here, bro.
I don't
Get
like that
outta
either.
here. Who
So in
are
other
you?
words,
Like,
he's
you're
been
just
a
coming in after,
secret
like, all these
asshole
years.
all along. Like he fucking fucked up, tried to fuck up the Fast and the Furious franchise where they all turned on him, right? And he tried to make it that Vin Diesel had a fucking ego or some shit, and that was all bullshit. It's just he tried to take over the franchise, it failed. Then they gave him a spinoff. The spinoff did well, and they wanted to do a sequel to the spinoff, but they didn't want to piss off the Fast and the Furious people.
Anytime I heard that quote that you just said, Joe, I was
Yeah.
like, I hope they make a Superman versus Black Adam movie, and I hope they have Superman beat his ass for 2.5
Dude.
hours. Like that's
Well, that's what I was hoping for with fucking Henry Cavill. That would have
Right.
been great.
that's what I don't
Especially
like.
Henry Cavill, bro.
I get that James Gunn has his vision, and I don't fault him for that. But my thing is, why couldn't the vision just be altered? And you establish good faith with the audience and be like, you know what, we're bringing Henry Cavill back. This is a reboot, but he's still going to be Superman.
But wasn't the point in the Flash that they brought fucking Zod back in the Flash movie to try to change the timeline where Zod doesn't get his neck snapped?
Dude, they allegedly, when this was still the way it was, they allegedly changed the timeline to where Kal-El dies and his cousin is the one that comes to Earth.
That's so
That's why
fucking
Supergirl's
ridiculous.
in this movie.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
In fact, that might still be the thing because I heard they took out Henry Cavill's cameo in The Flash. So there's probably a timeline. And can you believe that they may make this like the Michael Keaton Batman timeline where Kal-El gets killed potentially on his way to Earth, and then his cousin Kara gets to Earth instead of him.
That's nuts.
Could you
So that's why
imagine that?
she's in it and he's not.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that's another thing I have a question too, right? I heard that the Christopher Reeve Superman is canon to James Gunn's. How the fuck is that?
Canon to his new universe?
Like, in other
That's
words,
not possible.
Christopher
No, I don't
Reeve
think so.
Superman and fucking Christopher Nolan's Batman.
That
like,
would make no
something
sense.
to do
because
something to
he's
do with
doing
James
his
Gunn's
Superman
universe,
origin.
right? I don't understand.
No. I did
And
hear that
isn't-
there may be a music cue in the Flash for Christopher Reeve Superman, but I don't think it's anything more than that.
And what
Like,
about the
they do
Joker
the-
film? That's just going to continue. That timeline.
That's
Yeah, it's a separate
That's a
thing.
musical.
Yeah, it's a musical.
Well, the second one's a musical, but not in general, though. Like, I mean, not that if there was a third one, it's not going to be a musical.
All right,
You don't know that.
anything's possible.
Gaga's still in it.
Yeah, she's Harley
So it
Quinn,
does
right?
well.
She is, yeah.
Wow.
There's set photos of her too in the costume.
I didn't see that yet.
Well, that's another question I have for you, right? They one of their most successful fucking shows is Doom Patrol, right? It does well, and Titans, right? What are they going on season fucking 4 already?
Season 4
Right.
of Doom Patrol's coming out soon. I think.
Right.
Oh, they're on season 4 right now.
Right?
I'm pretty sure all
Mich-
that stuff is separate though. I don't think it's connected.
and
Oh, no, it's
Michelle
definitely
Gomez is a big part of Doom Patrol past couple years, right? And I think David Tennant's kid's in Doom Patrol, right? So like now that continues even throughout James Gunn's thing because is it always still getting Peacemaker season 2?
well, there's a problem with that though.
That doesn't make any sense either.
The Justice League's at the end of that, but it's like Joe said though. If they use this as the Flashpoint thing, you can still make that make sense technically.
I guess.
Yeah. I literally just want this to be Flashpoint. Like, that's all I want. Because
Now,
it would just make so much sense for him just to... Like, I want this movie
Yeah.
to end with him fucking up so bad and coming back and nothing is the same. Like, literally just
Yeah.
Flash, like, season 2, whatever.
But didn't
just
I say, Chris, that it doesn't matter how many fucking crimes he does. If that movie makes them money, they'll fucking won't give a fuck, and he'll be the Flash for
Well,
fucking years.
Honestly, if they're willing to stand by him and stand by this movie, it's got to be good. So I mean, I don't.
They were
No
gonna
way
fire
if
his
they're
ass.
putting it
They
out.
did test screenings. The next thing you know, they're like, "This is the greatest fucking movie in existence." Oh, maybe we should resign him for fucking 10 years.
Yeah, but they said that you can't. I don't put too much stock into that because they said that about Batman versus Superman too.
Yeah, but that's so.
You know, but here's the conundrum, right? Let's say the Flash comes out and it doesn't do what we were talking about, like it doesn't reset everything. What do they do?
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't count anyway because it's wiped, right? Like
I mean, I guess.
Right? I mean, I just don't understand should we be invested in going to see these movies if they don't exist?
I mean, it's
it's pointless.
I mean, yeah, but it's still entertainment, I guess.
I mean,
Because
still,
yeah, there's still movies on their own, you know. But like, my thing is like, the reason for all this happening is that these movies were done, they were signed and done before all this happened. So it's like they still have them. They might as well put them out
that's
there.
why they should have.
Yeah.
He should have just worked with what he had. He should have kept Henry Cavill, and he should have did some shit. And
I don't know, because it wasn't working. Why would you continue doing what doesn't work?
Because we never really got to see Henry Cavill work anyway.
They should have. They should have kept Henry Cavill, but they should have.
No, I 100% agree with that.
him.
Yeah, I think they should have just rebooted it and brought him over.
Because I guarantee you that if they would have come out and been like, "Look, we're rebooting the DCEU into the DCU or whatever they're going to call it. We're keeping Henry Cavill as Superman, but it has nothing to do with the stuff that we were doing previously." I guarantee you, nobody would be like, "No, don't do that." They'd be like, "Okay."
Yeah, and just wait. 100%.
And nobody would be confused if Marvel can get away with the stuff that they're doing. Nobody's going to be like, "Listen, it's Henry Cavill, but it's a different version of Superman."
Yeah, nobody gives a shit about that.
No.
Well, what was the thing he said? In the future, he may appear. Like, what was that about? James Gunn said about that.
Not as Superman though.
Yeah. The
Who
rumors,
cares then?
The rumors about that were like, "Oh, they might do a Crisis on Infinite Earths thing," but that's never been confirmed.
Oh, okay. I mean, we got fucking Green Arrow back in fuck last season of Flash.
It doesn't mean anything though.
No, I mean, I don't know what the fuck that's. We don't even know what's going on with the TV shit either. Because then, wasn't that going to go under? Now they just made a deal last week that the Arrowverse is continuing or some shit.
With what? Everything else is
I
canceled.
have no idea. Like, I don't. Superman's not part of that because that's a different universe.
Didn't everything else get canceled?
Everything
Well,
else is canceled.
they were, but the problem is, didn't they? The guy that's behind all that, like they're going to save the Arrowverse.
No, I think it's done. I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
thought it was done until I saw an article. Was it yesterday?
Flash is the final one.
It's supposed to be.
It is. Legends is canceled. Supergirl's done. Arrow's done.
I have a funny feeling they're going to wipe most of that stuff and then replace it with things that are canon to Gunn's thing, to be honest with you.
Oh, 100%. They're going to do, like, not CW literally shows, but they're going to do CW type shows with his stuff. Because he did say his stuff's going to reach TV, games, and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to reshape it the way he wants to shape it. So all that stuff on HBO Max is not happening, the Green Lantern thing?
Oh, that's gone. Yeah,
that's
gone.
gone.
Everything's done.
What about Diggle being the Green Lantern? That's done too, right?
It's been done.
It's been done. Okay.
They didn't allow him to do that because of what they were going to do with the show.
That was just, okay.
And then,
but we're still going to get Doom Patrol seasons, I guess.
Doom Patrol season 4 is releasing right now.
Yeah,
but they're filming 5, I think.
I think you might get that stuff for a little while longer, and then eventually the only things that are going to be on there for a little while are going to be like.
You know what? God bless them though, because I love the first season, so that's fucking fantastic, honestly. That they're continuing. That's good.
But a lot of people are pissed at him because they're like, if you keep the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker canon, but make everything else,
you're a fucking hypocrite, bitch.
Pretty lame. Yeah,
you're a hypocrite. You're a fucking hypocrite,
I don't really
right?
care, to be honest with you, but
I care because I think that's fucked up. Honestly, I want my Henry Cavill.
Well, you know his wife is in Peacemaker, right?
I know that, but she wasn't his wife when she was in it. I was his girlfriend for like 10 years. I know that.
Yeah.
But she's in the Marvel Universe also, though. In Guardians of the Galaxy. The new one, I think.
Oh, the new one, yeah. So is the fucking Well, you didn't watch Peacemaker, but he was the one cop, not cop, but the one.
But isn't is Lady Gaga gonna be the voice of Rocket's girlfriend, or no? That's just
It's not
bullshit.
confirmed, but
Okay.
it'd be cool.
Now,
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
what else, Chris?
Throwback.
Transformers.
Not in a bad way.
What else?
I mean, you
What's
got
that?
Rise of the Beasts coming out. You know,
So is that connected to like
I'm-
anything?
so Bumblebee. It's definitely a sequel to Bumblebee, and it's supposed to be the first in a line of like a new trilogy of movies. There was a rumor that, again, take this with a grain of salt. This may or may not be a spoiler. I don't think that this is actually happening, but it would be cool if it was. They were allegedly going to say that like Unicron is like going to be mentioned in this movie as like he's not in it, but like he's like what they're leading up to. And I guess because the Maximals are in this movie, like Optimus Primal, Cheetor, Rhinox, those Air Razor, but they're supposed to be descendants of the Autobots. So there's some
Okay.
kind of time travel issue here.
No.
I heard a rumor that at some point in this movie, Optimus Primal alludes to the Michael Bay universe, and is like that was what was happening before Unicron changed things, and now here we are.
And the timeline's changed.
So they.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So I don't know if that's true,
weird.
but it would be a very now. Could that happen? Yes. Unicron could potentially do something like that, and it would actually make a lot of sense because why does Bumblebee kind of look the same? Why does Optimus kind of have the same weapons and stuff that he did, or similar weapons to what he did in the other ones? If this is a whole new universe, I think this is just a whole new universe.
Now, what's this thing about the TV show where Megatron is fucking an Autobot and he's a good guy? What the fuck is that about? Somebody was talking to me about that.
It's an alternate universe story called Shattered Glass, where the premise of the show is what if the Decepticons are the good guys and the Autobots are the bad guys.
Oh,
Interesting.
Yeah, they did that. They did that. It was originally a toy line. It was like they released. I remember the first. I think the first one they released it was a purple Optimus Prime, and on the box it said like his normal quote is like "Freedom is the right of all sentient beings," but it was like freedom is like it was something like I decide who has freedom or something like that.
oh shit.
And everybody was like, "What the fuck?" And
Oh,
then
shit.
the Megatron came out later on, and he was like, "We must fight the Autobots for peace throughout the universe." And it was like, "What the hell is going on?"
What the fuck? What?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like you've got like Starscream saving people, and like Bumblebee is like obliterating people. It's fucking
Wow.
crazy. It's fucking crazy.
And this
That's
is
a
an actual
that's a
show.
cartoon on like where?
So it started out as a toy line, and I guess it went into a comic, and I guess now they're doing like an animated thing or something like that.
Is that gonna be
Wow.
on Netflix or something, or is that like?
I think so. I'm not entirely sure though.
Okay, that sounds cool.
I know very little about it, to be honest with you.
Is that He-Man thing continuing?
Oh, you got me.
I don't
Fuck
think so.
that,
I
right?
doubt it. I doubt it.
I doubt all the slack he got.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. G.I. Joe is done, right? Snake Eyes bombed, right?
I would imagine so. Yeah.
Wasn't Snake
they
Eye like a
still- are
reboot
they-
anyway?
Yeah, they were trying to do it as a reboot, but it fucking bombed. And now they were waiting for The Rock to come back to bring back the G.I. Joe franchise. That's not happening, right?
I doubt it. I think what they were eventually going to do was like a G.I. Joe Transformers crossover. I think that was in the cards at some point.
Yeah, that's
Because
not
I remember
happening
there was this like leaked Hasbro movie slate, and there was this thing called like huge crossover event. Like they didn't give a title, but it was on the slate for like 2024. And everybody was like, "Yeah, that's Transformers G.I. Joe."
Yeah, when I was a kid, they had that fucking Transformer episode where they encountered this guy called Snake, and then at the end, it was revealed in the future. I guess it was in the future then, 2015 or 16 or whatever it was, right? That Snake was actually an aged Cobra Commander, and he jumps up in the air and he's like Cobra, and he coughs or some shit. And that was supposed to be like that G.I. Joe was in the same universe as Transformers or something.
I mean,
if you really want to do mental gymnastics, like for the movies anyway, it does kind of make some sense because you could be like, Cobra is using like technology from the Cybertronians to make their
Right.
shit. But like,
I just wish we had a popular G.I. Joe franchise movie instead of a fucking joke that it's been, you know?
yeah,
It sucked. But Turtles now is coming back again, right?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles can like mutate into whatever they want it to be. You know, it's one of those
Right.
franchises.
Doesn't Michael Bay keep saying, "Hey, do one for me" or some shit, right?
He's a producer on Rise of the Beast, so I mean, I guess they still like him at some point. You know?
Yeah. But now the new one's an animated film or is it a live action?
It's
Seth
the thing I
Rogen,
sent you
right?
the other day.
The Turtles
That's right.
thing is animated, yeah.
Oh, so we're not getting a live action though, right?
No,
I
the thing
don't
I
know.
sent you the other day is a concept art for it.
Okay. Yeah, that was the Seth Rogen one that he wrote, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Chris, you see the
No.
concept art for it?
I
Well, Seth-
don't think I did, no.
I think.
I just want them to do that right too. I don't want them fucking that shit up either.
Right?
So now what else is to talk about? We talked just about everything, right? We didn't talk about Doctor Who though, but I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah,
I got
I'm
some.
actually interested in it now. You know,
I mean, people. I can't believe how many people are annoyed with the whole situation behind it. I mean, I'm okay with him revisiting a face like David Tennant face, like you know the 10th Doctor, and that the 10th Doctor is the 14th Doctor. That's fine. I'm happy with it, but some people are not happy with it. Like I don't get. I don't understand it. I mean, it was on the verge of cancellation. I mean,
Isn't it not in his control? So why does it matter that he's the 14th?
right? Who cares? Right?
I also
see
think
David
there's going to be
Tennant
an
again, so-
explanation for that. I think
Oh, no,
they're
It's
gonna-
a celestial toy maker. But here's the thing: I was having a big debate in the Real Hoovings cast tonight with Philip, right? And he's like, "Oh, it doesn't count. It's been a yeah. The regeneration was manipulated, and it's not a natural regeneration, right?" So I'm like, "But Philip, when have we ever had a natural regeneration? Because the second Doctor's regeneration was a punishment forced by the Time Lords that they chose his face. The third Doctor fought his fear against the spiders and died where the regeneration wasn't going to happen. And the Time Lord known as Joji, the monk, his friend, whatever, manipulated the regeneration energy, gave it a push to allow him to regenerate. But it was like, you know, his behavior was going to be erratic. And then we've had other instances where the Sisterhood of Karn interfered and manipulated the reach. So it's always been a situation where at some point in time, the regeneration was manipulated or the whatever was manipulated. So he is the Doctor. This is why I don't understand why people make it like, oh, he's just a bridge Doctor. He's a temporary. No, I mean, we don't have a permanent Doctor. We're never going to have a permanent Doctor because Doctors always can regenerate. But you can't get behind Shooty if we didn't even get David Tennant back yet again.
But that's the thing. Like, he's confirmed as the 14th. Like, it's not like he's a fucking jump over. Like, literally,
But that's what I'm saying. We need to be behind the 14th Doctor. We need to, right? I don't understand why people are just like, let's go shoot. Like,
this is I think where this is coming from. He is the 14th Doctor. He's a legitimate Doctor. There's no. This is not the 10th Doctor Part 2 or anything like that. Like this is the 14th Doctor. That's what a lot of people need to understand. This is canon. This is the thing. He's the 14th Doctor. I think that the issue that people are having though is that I always want to be blunt here for a second. There's a behind the scenes reason for why they brought David Tennant back now.
we know that why. I know why.
Because the show, like you said, was on basically a ventilator. You know,
Right.
Like
It was done. He had lunch with David Tennant and Catherine Tate. They had lunch together. And they came up with the concept, David Tennant and Catherine. Oh, wouldn't it be great if we could do it again? And then next thing you know, Russell T Davies is like, after the dinner was over, you know what? I'm going to call you next week. And he fucking wrote the whole fucking shit, and then he asked him.
This is a good attempt, I think.
It's the best attempt, in my opinion.
Done well. This is an attempt to I personally think is Russell T Davies saying without saying, I hear your complaints. I know why you left the show. give it a chance, come back. They're throwing us a bone.
Here's your
and then
favorite.
They're going to go from there.
Right. Here's your favorites. Here's what worked. Oh my God, it's great. And then you'll have something new.
Yep.
But it's also because this is the first time we have a situation where a Doctor actor is part of 2 other major shows while filming Doctor Who. Now, and he did Barbie movie too. So like he's doing Sex Education, right? And he's doing another fucking show. So he's not available to film what they're used to. So they had to probably cut back the episode count.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because he can't give it to them. Now, I've also heard that by the time he fucking airs, he's gone anyway. Because he might be a 2-season Doctor. Russell T Davies already wrote the 2nd season of Shooty. So, like, we heard that he's writing the 16th Doctor already. So, it's probably that we're going to get, I mean, it sucks, but everything's so far ahead. Like, even Russell T Davies writes far ahead. So, by the time we see Shooty, he's gone already. Just like the same thing happened with Pearl Mackie. I think, you know, she was done before her first episode aired. So, I don't know. But I'm very happy.
Either way, I think that this was the right move because I think that a lot of people are going to be like, hey, you know what? Let me check that out. And if it's good, they may stick with it. So,
but the door is always open, too, for Moffat and Gatiss and all of them to come back also. Because I know Russell T Davies, when he decides to step down as showrunner, he wants somebody he could trust like Moffat again to do it. But Moffat has said it's too fresh for him right now to jump back on board. And Mark Gatiss is currently directing Moffat's play that he has. But Moffat did send out some feelers to see if Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman answer because he wants to do another season of Sherlock. He mentioned it like a teaser to see if they bite, to see if like they say, hey, we can. You know, because they did say before they would be open to returning. But Doctor Strange didn't film yet, the new one. And you said that's on the fast track, right, Chris?
Allegedly, they want to fast track that. I don't know exactly what that means for it, but, you know, I mean.
They want to rush it out. They want to get a script. They want to write.
Yeah.
So.
I think they need to get, on that topic, I think they need to get Scott Derrickson back to direct it.
But where did we get the thing where they said they want quality over quantity? What are they cutting? Because I didn't see them cut anything.
Well, just wait. Apparently, they're going to be moving things around.
So they're not going to. I mean, Echo's still going to happen.
Yeah, but apparently that's not happening until later on.
But and you're saying another Eternals movie's happening, right?
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Shang-Chi, there's going to be another one. I'm glad about that, right?
Shang-Chi, I think, is actually going to be the movie right before Kang Dynasty.
Wow. Why, they're going to take his rings?
Well, yeah, allegedly the rings are something that Kang needs, and apparently the title for the movie is like Shang-Chi and the Shattered Time or something like that.
So he's going to, at the end of the movie, he's going to fucking get defeated and get his power taken away.
I mean, I would imagine so. You know what I want to see now that we were talking about this? I want to see Kang, like, his technology shuts down, and then Shang-Chi drops the rings, and those two go at it.
Yeah.
That would be a fucking great fight. I think Shang-Chi would win, but, you know.
Maybe that they will go at it, like, in his movie.
Oh, that'd be great. That would be phenomenal.
Now, where is Thor in all this? I mean, are we going to get another Thor movie connected to this, or?
I don't think we are. I think
we're not, right? There's
the stuff that he's got going on.
He's upset, right?
I think he wants to finish. Doesn't he want to do one more to finish it out and get done?
Yeah, he's also got that Alzheimer's thing that, like.
But he doesn't have. He will have it. They said not that he has it now, right?
No, he doesn't have it now.
Not that he will. He has a strong chance of it.
Yeah,
but is the chance he might not have it? That's the whole point. I know he's upset about that far ahead in the future, but that's a long fucking time, though. I know.
Take the time to spend with his family. That's all.
I know.
Not to mention, too, though, you're right, though. I don't think he was very happy with the way Love and Thunder, was.
Well, I don't think he was aware of how much it fucking sucked. until he saw all the comments and all the fucking people seeing it saying how much this shit sucked. He thought it was probably great.
It was not.
He
It
thought
was
it-
not the best.
Listen, I like Ragnarok. I thought that was
Ragnarok
that's
was okay.
what
Ragnarok
we
was-
needed. But this continuing that thread of comedy again, that does not work. You
I
know?
still don't care for the new Thor. I don't.
Newport Thor sucked.
No, not even
I-
new Thor. I just don't care for the new Thor like concept. I don't like him being a jokester all the time.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
That's why I didn't care for Ragnarok as much.
I
as
liked
did
when it was
Red Alert.
fucking serious and fucking like when he's in Captain Marvel and fucking right. It was like he was like fucking all tough and shit. I like that shit. I don't like when they turned him into a bumbling buffoon fat Thor. That pissed me off.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I like Thor 1 and 2. I don't like
Yeah.
this.
Well, Ragnarok I liked a lot.
It was okay.
No, I thought I liked it better than 1 and 2, honestly. But you needed to move on to seriousness because at the end of Ragnarok led into Infinity, so that's why we needed to go serious and not comedy. Makes no sense. And now what's going on with Tom Holland now? They got engaged, right?
Oh, did they?
I think.
I don't know.
But she's going to be back in the movie, I guess, right?
That doesn't mean that, though.
I would assume that his friend becomes the Hobgoblin, right? I mean, his friend was
Maybe.
taking pictures with the fucking action figures going to. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be Hobgoblin!" Woo! Like fucking getting in shape and shit, all fucking psyched. I mean, and I heard that they signed William Dafoe as Green Goblin for Secret Wars.
I could see
Yeah.
that.
Alfred Molina, please. Doc Ock again. I don't care.
Hmm.
Doc Ock's the fucking best, so
That movie's gonna be like 3.5 hours long.
who fucking cares? I can't fucking wait. I mean, if you got fucking Professor X, if you got all these fucking people in it, X-Men, Deadpool, oh shit. This is gonna be fucking ridiculous. And then you're saying Phase 7 has to do with the mutants, you're saying, you think?
That's the rumor. Yeah.
So the mutants will be like, there'll be A versus X in like I guess a 3-phase plan or some shit. Right?
I mean,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
But think about how far out that will be.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. will be like 80 years old.
I mean, that's good. Like we're pushing like 2030 at that point. You know.
I mean, I'll be going to see the movies with my grandkids and fucking, I'll have gray hair and a fucking cane and shit.
That's funny.
I look forward
We can
to
get on
people
one of
like,
these shows and
"Grandfather!"
be like, remember when Iron Man was flying around in 2008 and now there's mutants?
Right, I know. Look, I don't care how many movies come out as long as we don't age, but oh well.
I mean,
I know, I'm joking.
you know.
This is just think. I've been on YouTube for how many fucking years doing these shows, right? Long fucking
a
time,
long time now.
right? It's going on year 11, I think, right? Or 12.
I still think the best. I'm a little biased with this, but I still think the best episode was when you were like, I think they're gonna do Godzilla versus Kong in 2020.
Yeah, I until they delayed it, I fucking was right.
Yeah.
But somebody changed the timeline. I don't know what happened, but
Yeah. Damn
I
it,
tell you-
Kang.
yeah, damn King. Who knows? I got to tell you though, like that was like one of my first experiences in the movies. My grandmother took me to see Godzilla in the fucking theater. The one with the remember the Godzilla elevator? They built Godzilla as an elevator with yeah. That was
by
my
the way, I just want to briefly shout out Godzilla versus Gigan Rex. 10 out of 10.
yeah.
That was pretty
Yes.
great.
Yes.
I love the fact too that they alluded that was Junior from the Heisei series.
Yeah. That's great.
That was
There was
phenomenal.
two of them, right? There was the two. The one you're talking about that was with because there was two Goggin.
I didn't see the
right?
second one. I saw the
Oh,
one with the multiple fat guy guns.
yeah, that was right. The other one was just like a fan, like, or not a fan film, but it was like a Toho thing that they just wanted to celebrate Godzilla versus Gigan. And
Right.
It was good. I liked it. I thought it was good too.
Right. I'm excited we got to see a different, without the humanistic shit.
Yeah.
Just let them fight. Fuck it. Right?
Well,
Like, who cares?
this year is the 50th anniversary of Godzilla versus Megalon. So they're probably going to do something for that other than Godzilla Zero. And then
That's good.
next year, along with Godzilla and Kong Origins, is the 50th anniversary of Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla.
Oh
So
shit!
that is going to go through the friggin' roof.
Why can't we have a fucking video game, a new one?
Because the last one did so terribly.
Remember,
it's
Joe, I
terrible
wanted
that
to
I
buy
have that.
that last one. You said don't buy it, Dad, and now it's like fucking $250.
I never said don't buy it. You didn't have a PS4 at the time. I bought it.
Yeah,
I have it.
I had
I
trolls
never saw that
before.
shit.
I have this fucking this asshole that keeps creating multiple accounts. He keeps saying Joe got beat Bloodborne for you. You didn't do it, and I had to fucking live stream with Scott that I fucking did it.
Yeah, I don't touch Bloodborne. I haven't touched Bloodborne in years.
People actually thought that you played my games for me. How stupid is that?
Hey, I mean, that means you're doing it right. If you have trolls, that means, something's going on.
I guess I'm pissing off them enough to. I'm getting paid this month, I guess. So okay, right? Check's gonna be coming in on the 22nd. So yeah, I got. Have you been gaming anything, Chris? Are you playing now?
I've been playing Pokemon Scarlet. I'm a big Pokemon person, so
I have not gotten
I
that
just
yet.
finished that.
I've been wanting that so bad.
It's good. It's I gotta say the story they definitely went pretty hard with the story in this one.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No, okay. I'm glad you came in, JoJo. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You had fun,
I
right?
was texting you about it.
I know.
I was like, fuck it.
But you had fun. I asked Anthony. He had to go to work, though. He would have appeared. But he's got to work tomorrow morning. He said. Well, what else? I think that's it, right, Chris? There's nothing else going on?
Other than Mando starting on March 1st.
Okay. But what about the
Last
sequel
of Us
trilogy?
next weekend? The fuck?
Oh, Last of Us.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Fucking
They said
paid
that's
for
good, though,
paying
right?
another- No, it's
Yeah.
got a 10 out of 10 on fucking or on
That's what they said.
100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow. That's
They
crazy.
said it's a pretty faithful make or representation of the game too. Apparently.
Yeah, because Drunkman worked on it, and he worked on it side by side with them the whole time,
Wow.
and he made
That's
sure
pretty
this is
good.
like the number one. And they only changed they didn't change like too much. The spores are not in it. They're more like tendrils in this.
Did you see
I don't know how
Avatar,
much
the
you guys
new
know.
one, or no, Chris?
No,
You're not interested in that, right?
I'll watch it. I just didn't want to go see it.
Well, I heard the Megan was good in the movie, Scott said.
That's
that they can,
gonna be. Remember how Annabelle was the thing for a while?
Yeah.
That's gonna be the new thing. Yeah.
yeah,
This is a new thing because
I
they already
heard,
confirmed the sequel, and they confirmed an not underrated, an unrated version of this one
yeah.
already.
Wow.
Because James Wan apparently had like a super gory version that they cut down.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think the sequel is gonna be like, oh, just go to the max.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
And we're getting another Conjuring, too.
Yeah,
Are
probably.
we soon, or is that just?
They're making another They said the final Conjuring.
Well, last one fucking sucked. So
Right. But they said that this is the final one. Like, they're building this up to be the biggest one ever and scary and go back to form, not. So we'll see. But I don't know if they're still continuing that universe. Aren't they doing another and I don't know if they're doing another. I think they're doing another Annabelle again, also.
I really hope not. I know they're doing the Crooked Man.
Yeah.
Finally, hopefully.
I still got to see Smile. I was watching Wednesday, and then Anthony called, and then I stopped watching it. But I enjoyed what I saw of it, like the first.
Wednesday's a good show.
Wednesday's really good.
I only saw the first 10 or 15 minutes of it, and I fucking loved it. Like
Yeah, it's good.
So I got to go back to watch it.
Wednesday's really good. Fuck else. There's something else.
You know what I'm really excited for? I don't know if you guys saw the trailer for it, but that movie with Adam Driver, 65,
I did not.
that looks amazing.
What's that about?
It's about, so he plays like a space pilot, right? Who's
I heard
transporting
about it.
people.
I haven't seen the trailer. Yeah.
He's transporting people to go on some mission to another planet, and their ship gets hit by an asteroid, and they crash land on this other planet, right? Well,
somehow the ship wound up on Earth 65 million years ago, so he has to fight fucking dinosaurs.
Oh, so he wound up a time warp in the past?
Yes.
Oh shit! But is
And
his
so
thing gonna?
It
Wow.
might, I don't know, but he has to fight. Like the only other survivor was this like little girl, and he has to fight dinosaurs. And when I tell you that like this is the first movie that's done dinosaurs on par with Jurassic Park, it looks
Wow.
phenomenal.
Wow! And the trailer's out.
Not special effect wise, like Jurassic Park is still better, but like the dinosaur designs on par with Jurassic Park.
And the trailer's out.
Yes. Yep.
But why isn't anybody? The people talking about it?
It got a huge amount of attention when the trailer first came out.
Oh, I got to see this trailer.
Everybody was like,
I've heard
"Holy
about it. I
shit,
just
what
haven't
is
seen
this?"
it yet.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. It looks really good. The best part is that like it's got this like weird dichotomy where it's like he's got all this advanced technology because it's obviously he's from the future, and he has to use it to survive in like the past. So it's actually really interesting.
Now, what about Indiana Jones? You think that's going to be a big? Is that going to be good, or you think it's going to be shit? Right?
Indiana Jones. I heard that after that movie comes out, Kathleen Kennedy is getting the boot.
Can't.
Hopefully.
What do they fucking do in that movie that's so fucking wrong?
You want me to tell you, or do you
Yes.
want to see it for yourself?
Chris, Joe, do you want to know? Or
Are you good?
I don't care.
go ahead, just tell me.
I heard that they changed this ending.
What was the original ending?
Again, take this with a grain of salt. Allegedly, what was going to happen was they were going to go back in time. There was
Jesus
going to be the
Christ.
old
All right.
Indiana Jones, the young Indiana Jones, and then Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character.
Right?
There was going to be something that happened where the young Indiana Jones died, or the old Indiana, like somehow one of the Indies dies, and there's all these things that happen, and then allegedly, like he gets erased from existence.
What?
And she takes his place. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here!
Yeah. And then
Are
they
you
were like,
kidding me?
oh, and you know what else? She's gonna get a Disney Plus show too.
What?
That is allegedly that is the ending. Is that like somehow Indy gets erased and she takes his place?
What kind of fucking ending is that?
Kathleen Kennedy, the Indiana Jones is female ending. That's yeah.
But what's the new ending?
I don't know.
Oh my god! Why
You
the
wanna know
fuck
how
would that guy be on board with that though?
Do you want to know how we know that there's a new ending?
Yeah,
Allegedly, John Williams was in concert in like Italy or something like that.
yeah.
And after the concert, he was like talking to the audience, and he was like, "My next thing I'm doing is that we're filming more scenes for Indiana Jones 5. I'm scoring scenes," and they're like, "Wait, bro, the movie's done. What do you mean?"
Oh no.
So probably.
So
changing
in other
it.
words, they made a decision that your movie sucks. and we
allegedly, before Bob Chapek was kicked out of Disney or whatever, he left Disney. There were rumors that him and Kathleen Kennedy had a quote very angry conversation because the test screenings of Indy 5 were awful.
Of course, you can't kill off the main fucking character. Well, they did, like to John Connor, but that's another story. But
Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
yeah, but you saw what not to jump, but you saw what James Cameron, he blamed Arnold Schwarzenegger being in it that it failed.
Yeah,
He has no fuck-
him and Linda
Yeah.
Hamilton. Yeah.
He has no fucking idea that it failed because you killed the fucking hero that you fucking groomed us to believe in for fucking decades in 5 minutes.
What do you expect him to say? Oh, yeah, the movie sucked because we made it bad? You know?
Why couldn't he say we fucked up because we killed the fucking hero in 5 minutes?
You expect him
This
to
is
admit that he's wrong?
Yeah.
This is the same guy who said testosterone was toxic.
Oh my god.
I mean, like,
Yeah,
what
but
do you
he's
expect?
also the same guy that gave us fucking Aliens, which was the best
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
one ever. But
And
that was the
Terminator
best
2,
one
you
ever.
know? Yeah.
I mean, is he getting senile now? Does he know
No,
what
I
the fuck
think
he's
he's-
doing?
I think that as he's got older, his opinions about things have changed, and in my
He's just
opinion,
fucked up.
I don't know.
Well, I'm sorry, but the last Terminator was so fucking bad. It needs to be another one where John Connor's the hero. Obviously,
I'm going to
Fix
be
it, but
honest with you. I don't want to see.
I know you're
Terminator
done.
anymore.
You're
I don't
done.
care about
I'm
Terminator
not,
anymore.
I'm
You're done,
fuck it,
right?
You know.
Yeah, I know. But what
And
about
you know,
Alien now?
I'm comfortable with saying that because Terminator 2 is actually a good ending. You know, like
But
if it
that's
ends
why-
there, it's like okay, cool.
But now that's wiped because the last one it just they're celebrating.
Well,
their
in my
50th.
head, in my head canon, nothing happens after that. You know,
Right.
it's just Terminator and
I mean,
Terminator 2.
timelines and timelines and timelines and timelines.
Well, you know,
And
you
now
know,
we-
you know what you do. You could basically insert this into the canon of Terminator. Just say that the alternate ending of Terminator 2 is the canon ending.
Right.
What is the alternate ending?
In the future, it jump cuts from them melting down all the Terminator stuff at the end, like
Yeah.
and it jump cuts to like 30 years later, and Sarah Connor is like old and she's recording something in the park. You remember the dream that she has when the nuke hits and she burns? They're in that park, and she's recording a message. And John Connor is grown up, and he has a daughter, and he's playing with her on the playground. And she says that he became a senator that like monitors like technological advancement and basically prevents Skynet, I guess, from being created.
Right.
And it's like 2035, way after Judgment Day was supposed to happen, and it never happened. So
Right.
it's a good
That
ending.
shit's cool. Yeah,
It's a great ending.
But now Alien's coming back.
Yeah, Alien Romulus. Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Apparently, it's some like uncanon, like new alien thing.
Uncanon?
Yeah, they said it doesn't connect to anything. Apparently,
It's a standalone alternate universe of Alien,
allegedly.
and
wasn't it supposed to be
Wait.
like the Newt
So-
story?
That was the rumor, but apparently that's
Oh.
not what this is.
so they have no faith in this movie. Why make it then?
Oh no, I'm not saying they don't have faith in it. I'm just saying from what I've heard, it's not connected to anything.
Oh, because Ridley Scott still has say,
I guess
so you don't want it to be canon.
they're also making that show,
The Alien show.
the FX show. Yeah,
And what about Predator? That's going on too. Continuing.
I don't know. I mean, Prey did pretty well, so I mean,
Yeah, I still didn't see it yet. You saw it?
I still haven't
not
seen it
me,
either.
no.
I don't know.
Now that's canon because there's stuff about Predator 2 in that movie.
Okay, but that's in the past though.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and they're remaking them. The fucking
are,
giant
yes.
ants. I fucking love that movie. That was one of my favorite black and white movies when I was a kid. The giant ants, because I was always fascinated with ants when I was a kid.
That could be pretty cool.
I hope it's good. I hope it's. If you watch that movie, that's kind of where they got the concept for characters in Jurassic Park and other stuff. If you really pay attention to it,
Yeah, it's an like an early thing. Spielberg was a big Godzilla fan, or is a big Godzilla fan too. So he did the T-Rex walking with the water, that famous shot in Jurassic Park. He inspired that from the first Godzilla.
Wow.
Iconic.
So what is Spielberg doing now? Nothing.
He just won a Golden Globe tonight, I think.
Wow. No, I'm saying, what is he doing in the future?
Casual.
I mean?
Yeah.
No, what do you-
I don't know.
Did you guys see that? I don't fucking know her name, but the lady who plays Queen Rwanda won a Golden Globe
Angela
for supporting
Bassett?
actress. Yeah,
Oh, did she?
I love her.
for a supporting actress in Wakanda Forever.
She was so good in American Horror Story.
Somebody needs to see Black Panther 2.
I know. I know.
I liked it.
I really liked it a lot. I was like obsessed.
Mm.
I was like shocked because I was hyped for it and I knew it was going to be good, but I was kind of blown away.
Yeah, it
And
was
Namor's coming to
definitely.
be in it.
It was
Namor.
that and Shang-Chi were like the best. Well, I mean, other than Spider-Man, those are like the best things in Phase 4.
Isn't Namor supposed to
yeah.
appear in Fantastic Four movie?
Maybe.
Mm.
Nothing is known about Fantastic Four. Like,
I know nothing, literally.
Confirmed.
We got no casting, no nothing, right?
Yeah, no.
bro, I literally just want Penn Badgley as Mr. Fantastic.
Who's that?
He's from You, the show You.
Oh, okay.
I want him. He can play it like he's like, calculated.
Wow. Okay.
but he's a freak. But it's okay.
So who do you want Sue to be?
Sue? I don't know.
Sue Richards, Sue Storm, you know.
Oh, I know. I know who she is.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I don't know.
There were rumors that they were going to cast Isa Gonzalez as her, and I was like,
Yeah. And what about
I
the
don't know.
Thing? And what about Human Torch?
got me.
Don't know.
All
That's just the casting on that is like something I'm like super hyped for, but we're never gonna know until we know.
I heard they got Gail Gadot back for Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah, 'cause she's canceled.
That's
And,
cool. She got a job.
DC.
All right, that's getting late. I'm so
Yeah.
glad you joined us, Joe. That
Yeah.
was cool. Yeah, we had fun. That was good.
Yes, sir.
We got to get Anthony next time, too. All right. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you,
Peace
guys.
out.
Take care. Take care. Bye for now.